This is an inside of a hard drive I just took apart. I'm going to destroy this because it had some of my information. I was able to format it, but it's still junk. So this is a Samsung 3 gig SATA drive. Looks like a 2011 model. I believe I bought this in like 2012-ish or so. This is a 2 terabyte model, which is what they claim. It's actually more like 1800 gigabytes, so 1.8 terabyte. There's always some loss because of low level formatting and things they have to do at the factory. This was actually in an external. This was used to be an older model now, but I kind of liked it because it was called a Samsung Story Station, and it was like a flat desktop style hard drive. It had like a turn on off switch in the front of it. It had like a nice heavy plastic base and a metal case over the top. I saw it somewhere with a different drive in it, but it was a nice designed hard drive. And I eventually replaced that when I needed more space and things like that, so I got 3 terabyte and now 8 terabyte externals. And this basically, all hard drives are sort of like this magnets here, which forms a voice coil motor, and there's a coil of wire in here, and that's controlled by the circuit board in the bottom, and that's the voice coil is what makes the head move like this, back and forth. And on these old hard drives, he would have something called a defrag or defragmentation, and that would usually the newer ones do it automatically if they have a hard drive like this. But if say you had a Word document or whatever and it was be saved, it might sometimes it might be saved all over the place, like in here, out here, back and forth. And then you get this turn noise every time you're trying to open something. That leads to slow performance, things like that. So that was what defrag would do. It would put all the pieces of a file in like a consecutive order. And this is basically the same format of any drive from like 2 gig to probably multiple terabytes. This is just a traditional setup as far as I know. It's not like a heat assisted magnetic recording hammer or anything fancy like the newer technologies. And some of the older drives didn't have this thing. This is some kind of like a protector or maybe like a wind channel, something to do with the airflow. There's a filter thing here, and there's also a little, this thing here is a vent hole on the top. Almost all hard drives have something like this, and this leads into like a filter pack, and on the other side of this is like carbon balls, which is like, I believe like a desiccant type thing. And you can kind of see there's only 3 platters in this 2 terabyte drive, so that they calculated comes to about 380 some gigs per side of these platters, which sounds like a lot in some ways, but in some ways I'm sure now it's nothing. The 8 terabytes I have now would probably have like a couple terabytes aside, or I don't know how many platters those use. And then this head also this comes off a ribbon cable into this thing here, and that's like a pin array, and that connects over to this PCB. When that PCB controls the head, the head motor, the reading heads, and the stepper motor for driver spindle. And then you also have some things in here for SATA data, so that it would be able to format the data incoming and outgoing into the SATA protocol. And that's just power, and those are probably fuses or chokes for the power. There's not much to a normal hard drive. Most of the technology here thinks mostly in the heads up here and in the platters itself. I'm going to see how well I can zoom in on the head. It's a pretty small thing, as you would kind of imagine. It's kind of hard to even see the wires or anything. I can kind of see. Just gotta zoom out. Okay, you can kind of see wires here. There's the head wires. And then they go up here. And you can't really even see the head or anything on this. But it's on that focus. It would probably be somewhere in the middle, in that area of that tip. I'm guessing probably in where the dot is, or where that crack square rectangle is. That's the inside of a hard drive. And that's how I read the data. And that's pretty much all I got on this.